Morning, everyone. Boker Tov. We're going back to Halachot of Shabbat, and we're in Siman Reish Nun Hey, and the topic of the Siman, similar to where we left off with, but kind of new. Chanat ha'esh kodem hachnasat Shabbat. Preparing a fire, but here this is talking about a fire not used for cooking, but maybe for warming yourself up. So preparing a fire before Shabbat. So basically, the Shulchan Aruch in Seif Aleph is saying that let's talk about, let's say, a wood fire, like a camping type of fire. You know, back in the day, there's like live fires. Even now, I'm saying generally to warm themselves up, etc. So, or to have light even. The fire has to be made before Shabbat in a way where you are not going to touch it on Shabbat, obviously, and that you're not going to add fire to it, that it's fully ready to go. And the way it's kind of described is that, you know, majority of the rov of the amount of wood that you put is already consumed and is already it's on its own. And that's basically the thing, that if it's on its own, then you're able to warm yourself beside the fire, you're able to read beside the fire, and etc. If it's not fully ready, then there's a worry that you're not going to come to add to the fire, stoke the fire, and then that's where you can't use such a fire if it's not fully ready before Shabbat. And when it comes to reading, there's in general a rule when it comes to reading, let's say beside even the Shabbat candles, if let's say that's the only light that you have, there's an issue maybe because if it's starting to go out, the oil, etc., then there's a concept of Shema Yateh. You might come to move the glass a little bit so that the wick captures a little bit more oil, so now it'll be a brighter light for you to read, and that's asur on Shabbat. So the fire has to also be good enough that if you're going to be reading beside it, then you know that you're not going to come to that point. It's going to be fully ready, fully good to go. And some say that if it's too weak of a fire, that you really have to work hard to read beside it, such a small fire, then there could be an issue there. But again, a fire that's kind of ready to go, you are able to use on Shabbat for warming oneself up and for light purposes. Now, we don't have the issue of like we saw with regards to cooking fire. Meaning that cooking fire, then it has to be covered. It's more strict. You might come to stoke the fire. You might come to do things. It's more strict when it comes to food-related things. The food might burn. The food might be undercooked, so you might come to adjust, as opposed to for heating, etc. Like someone asked me a question that we're talking about, let's say, covering knobs and the other halachot. What does that mean? I need to cover my light switches. So we see that they sell these type of covers of light switches. So the halachot does not require it. That's from here. That doesn't require that you're not going to come now to touch light switch, because that's not for food related items. There's discussion about that, but non-food related fire, we're not worried about that. Now, why do people have those? Just maybe because you don't want to touch the light. You accidentally touch the light, whatever. That's just an extra type of precaution. Now translating this to our type of heating systems is the same type of thing. Once our heating system, our electric heating system, our gas heating system, or if you have the plug-in heaters, anything like that, once it's already set up, ready to go on Shabbat, it's set up before Shabbat, it's ready to go over Shabbat, you don't need to put any papers, any covers, anything like that. We're not worried that you're going to come to higher or lower it like we are when it comes to food items. And the last point is in Seif Bet Shulchan Aruch, it talks about coals and it says Yesh Omrim, and the poskim say that the Shulchan Aruch is ruling lenient, that if let's say you have a coal, you set up a bunch of coals and you light it, now you know that within some time it's going to all light up and it's going to be a good ready to go fire. Now let's say right before Shabbat, I just light one coal. So that's not enough for what I need to heat up myself. It's not enough for me to light up the room or whatever it is. But I know that automatically it's going to catch to the other coals and it's going to be a full fire. So in that type of situation, he rules lenient that you could even though it's not a full fire ready to go, but because it's cold and it's gonna like you have these fast light coals, so it's gonna light, it's gonna stay hot, it's gonna stay warm, it's gonna do its thing on its own. So that type of thing would be allowed. Right? As he says, pechamim, afilu lo achaz b'hem ha'ur, even though the fire didn't really catch on yet. And the kosher, even though a little bit, shari shehem dolkim ve'olchim. They light and they go on their own type of thing. So that we're not worried about that you're going to come to add or take away from, etc. on Shabbat. Okay, that's that for today, and we will continue tomorrow. B'ezrat Hashem, Mincha tonight at 6:05. Have a good day, everyone. Tanit Eliyahu.